Hello, I'm Niall McGill, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the backswing, and we're going to look at the most effective way to get you to the top of the backswing so that we can return to the ball giving us these nice crisp strikes that we're looking for at impact. So in years gone by, on the movement away, and what we'll see often in players is far too much of an effort to really shift weight and load over onto the right leg on the backswing. Now, the problem we have with this is that on a tempo ratio, your downswing is roughly of your. So when you move over to your right on the way back, the difficulty you have is you now have to return, and not just return to where you started, but at impact you actually need to be more forwards than where you were at address so that you can strike ball before turf on the way down. Now the difficulty is you now have less than a third of the time to return from where you moved to on the backswing. So that really is quite an ineffective way to consistently get yourself back to the golf ball. Also, you much power when you have too much lateral movement from side to side. So what we need to focus on as we swing back is a much more centered pivot. So as we move away from the ball, we're not looking to try and get 80-90% of our weight onto our right leg. We're trying to stay much more centered, much more even with our weight. Now, you may have still a little bit more weight on your right foot than the left. Very hard for a player actually to be able to know exactly where their weight is. In golf, one of the biggest things is what we call feel versus real. So if we have a player who is moving excessively to the right hand side, that player may have to feel as if they're actually loading slightly on the left side. This does not mean though that they actually are doing that. It is only the feel of what they're doing. We are looking for you to move away, centered, weight stays fairly even, doesn't roll over on the outside of the right foot. From this centered position, we can now drive forwards from the top of the backswing. This allows us to delay the low point of our swing until just after the golf ball. By delaying the low point of the swing, this allows us to strike ball before turf and give us that nice crisp contact that we're looking for. Too much movement to the right hand side again makes it very hard for us to gain any leverage to get ourselves back, and as a result we tend to get down to the bottom of the swing early, bottom the swing out early. It gives us that heavy or scuffy contact before the ball. It can also cause the thin contact as the club has actually started to work back upwards again by the time it reaches the golf ball. So when we're working on the backswing, now you can do this on the range, on the practice ground, you can do it at home in front of a mirror. Stand, feel yourself, turn much more centrally, keeping the weight much more even before you then initiate your downswing with your weight shift. So if I had a shot here to let you see, from the start, much more centered pivot on the way back, no excessive movement to the right. We then drive through. This allows us to create that nice crisp contact that we're looking for at impact. So remember, on the backswing, focus on a more centered pivot. To make sure that we do not excessively move your weight to the right in an effort to make this big turn that's going to hit the ball much further. Instead, keep centered. That's going to allow you to generate much more power, much more drive, and a much crisper contact at impact. I hope this has helped, and we'll see you next time.